as we mentioned the last time we got together here, I think it was on Monday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a Bloomberg News reporter posted a tweet. And the tweet said, in effect, that the House Republicans were considering moving the Office of Congressional Ethics under the oversight of the House Committee on Ethics. In other words, getting rid of an independent watchdog. So that evening, doom, 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 Republicans got together in the dark of night in a closed-door discussion. See, this is why I keep saying we don't live in a democracy anymore, and you know it as well as I do. But a closed-door discussion and a vote to be taken on the proposal. The proposal was put together by this clown from Virginia, Representative Bob Goodlatte, as opposed to bad latte, I guess. Goodlatte. So you've got to consider that old Bob Goodlatte was trying to find something to offer him a smokescreen so he could get about the ugly shit that he's got planned. Otherwise, why? Why take away an independent ethics commission that keeps watch on these thieves and liars in the U.S. House? But anyway, so they had a vote. A handful of the Republicans in that caucus were against it, including the Republicans' number 2 man in the U.S. House, Kevin McCarthy. But the amendment won the secret vote. They even had a secret vote, even though the only people in the room were these filthy Republicans. They don't want each other to know how shitty they really are. A secret vote among themselves. Doesn't that speak volumes to you the way it does to me? So the vote was 119, yeah, let's get rid of it, to 74. Well, we better not. 119 criminals who are in the Republican caucus in the U.S. House of Representatives. How does that make you feel? Is that okay? Now, I didn't know any of this information last night when I was telling you about this. But the measure that passed, 119 to 74 in a secret vote, in a midnight closed-door session of these criminals, these fascist criminals in the Republican Party, the vote would have done some extraordinary things. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, look, what things could be done? I mean, I've never heard of the Office of Congressional Ethics. I know very little about the House Committee on Ethics. Ethics? With this clot of scum? Ethics? What? Well, what the measure would have done that Bob Goodlatte, as opposed to Bad Latte, the measure would have, first of all, renamed the Office of Congressional Ethics into the Office of Congressional Complaint Review. Christ. Yeah, now we had that bit. It would bar the Congressional Complaint Review from investigating any anonymous tips. I think we had that part too. It would block the Congress from moving forward on any investigation without a full approval, that means unanimous, by members of Congress who oversee the Office of Congressional Complaint Review. Yet, it would have no investigative ability to uncover evidence in order to obtain that approval. You see, catch 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. If you have no investigative ability to uncover evidence to obtain approval for an investigation, then by definition there's going to be no investigation because there's no evidence. Isn't that slick? Aren't these sons of bitches? Aren't these criminals? Aren't these fascists just so slick? They think they are. The measure also would have required the U.S. House of Representatives to shut down an investigation on orders from the U.S. House of Representatives. We don't like your stinking investigation, so it's over. Yeah, but who's going to do the investigating? Nobody. And if the Office of Congressional Complaint Review, that's the bogus office, if it learned of potential criminal activity, it would be barred from directly contacting law enforcement. Now you tell me, are these conspiring fascist little pricks, is this not totally self-evident what they're doing or what they tried to do? Right? If there's any criminal activity, murder, rape, arson, bank robbery, whatever it is, no, seriously, the measure that these snakes passed last night would have said, no, members of Congress can't notify law enforcement. Whoever was murdered stays murdered. Whoever was raped stays raped. Whatever house was burned down stays burned down. End of story. What a bunch of filth. What a bunch of filth. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Well, first of all, that last part means that the word ethics, I told you the other night, the word ethics it doesn't mean anything. It's five or, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 6 letters put together. It might as well say, Delpoop. It means nothing. Ethics to these people? Nothing. Hey, are we going to follow the, ethics, my ass. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Donald Trump weighed in and said, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's this? Shouldn't you guys be working on something? That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Last night, the public, if you can believe this, erupted at the news that the Republicans had secretly nuked its own independent ethics watchdog. And as is the custom these days, the debate, the discussion played out on Twitter. And given the fact that there are millions of people in this country who do not like this fascist government that we have, what was interesting was that so many people who do not like this government spoke out. Well, tweeted. So by this morning, it was front page news all over the place, right? I turned on MSNBC this morning about 10 o'clock. There's the story. I said, Kathy, they're talking about what we talk about. And then Donald Trump, the pretender, the asshole, saw the fury that this was generating, and he jumped to the head of the line. Hey, follow me here, follow me. And then he started tweeting, with all that Congress has to work on, do they really have to make the weakening of the independent ethics watchdog, as unfair as it may be, notice that little clause, as unfair as it may be, the independent ethics watchdog, as unfair. That's one of Trump's favorite words, along with sad. Oh, it's so sad. The North Vietnamese are going to launch a rocket at the United States with a nuclear weapon. Oh, that's so sad. So Trump, noticing that a crowd with their minds set on lynching was heading towards the House, so to speak, jumped to the front of the line. Hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? He said, their number one act and priority should not be this. Focus on tax reform, health care, and so many other things of far greater importance. I don't know who wrote that for him. He didn't write it because the words are spelled correctly. But somebody wrote it for him. So, around noon today, under intense pressure, these would-be criminals some of whom already are criminals. They tried to, what they tried to do by gutting the Office of Ethics and changing it to where it was nothing. It was just a packet of air, but retain a title that has the word ethics in it. It was nothing. There's nothing there. It was just just air. That was an illegal act. It was an unconstitutional act. But it doesn't matter to these people.